on Australia's business channel. This is Media Week.
Hello and welcome to Media Week. Ahead, we'll take a look at the latest radio ratings for Survey 5 and we'll find out just who came out on top in each state. We'll also hear from the Australian's editor, Clive Matheson, on the sidelines of the Australia-China Forum. But first, Nine Entertainment has released its first results since listing in December last year and has warned its first half 2015 earnings are likely to be subdued thanks to a soft ad market for free-to-air TV. Also this week, Nine and Fairfax signed a joint venture to launch StreamCo next year, a subscription video on-demand service. Well, for more on this, our co-host James Manning, editor and publisher of Media Week, is with us. James, just on the Nine result, obviously it beat its prospectus forecasts. What did you make of it? Yeah,
look, it was a good result for Nine. People wanted to know they could run their television business, and they can. They've proved that since they listed, doing very well. Lots of interest in their digital and their live businesses. But you mentioned the StreamCo. You know, once Nine had got the TV figures out of the way, all everybody wanted to ask about today was StreamCo, their forecast, why they got into bed with Fairfax. So it was pretty interesting talking to them about that.
You got more information on that. James spoke to Simon Kelly, Nine's Chief Financial and Operating Officer, a little earlier.
We've come out marginally ahead of where we expected to be at the time of the prospectus forecast we put out last December. So I think on every metric, revenue, EBITDA, profit after tax, EPS, dividend, cash flow was well up. We're very happy with how we finished the year.
Yeah, it's still all about the TV business. You've got some interesting business as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. But tell us how the television year's gone.
Yeah, well, the television year's gone very well. I mean, we saw a pretty strong free-to-air market over the first half. It did soften quite dramatically in the last quarter of the year, so it ended up in market terms pretty much where we expected. We grew our share a little bit beyond where we expected. The performance of Adelaide and Perth helps us there, as we've been a bit weak there in the past, but having acquired those businesses early in the year, you know, we started to get the early signs of gains from those businesses, which have helped the overall share position. You know, we've been very careful on cost control. These businesses have got a lot of fixed cost and carefully managed our costs. So our TV business ended up a couple of $1 million ahead of where we expected at the time of our forecast.
Okay, yeah, I think TV revenues were roughly $1.2 billion. Your other businesses, the digital, the live, one just over, one just under $200 million. What's the talking about the upside for those? Is one going to do a bit better in the, you know, outlook over the next couple of years, do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things we've been trying to do is increasingly build out other businesses which sit around our core TV business. You know, the live business, Take a Point, has moved from just being a pure ticketing business. We're now into the live promotion scene. We've had some major concerts over the last 12 months. We've brought some major propositions to advertisers, so there's been spin-off benefits to our TV and digital businesses. And, you know, we've got some very exciting things coming up in the next 12 months or so with the International Champions Cup, which is some of the best soccer teams from Europe playing in Melbourne. We're very excited about some of those opportunities coming forward. They're going to increasingly build that business up to be a very substantial business in its own right. The digital business at the same time, having acquired that from Microsoft 6 or so months ago, we're integrating that into the broader business. Increasingly, you know, we're seeing the benefits of owning 100% of a digital business, because TV and digital is converging. So having 100% ownership of our digital futures, you know, very important and is opening up lots of opportunities.
You just announced the JV with Fairfax in your StreamCo video on demand business. Tell us a little bit about the bringing a partner in. There's obviously pluses and minuses, but you think the upsides are worth it?
Yeah, I mean, these businesses are very competitive. Very important to get large penetration. We think Fairfax and ourselves, you know, probably creates unprecedented penetration across the market, distribution capability. Fairfax have a very strong subscriber base and obviously a lot of experience in managing subscribers. We think the combination of their expertise and our TV backing, you know, is very powerful. You know, and you know, these kind of businesses are not for the faint-hearted. So it's great to have a partner who's absolutely aligned with our philosophy about this business. You know, we're going to go hard. And we're going to bring a great proposition to the consumer, and we just felt that, you know, the power of two made this a deal we just had to do.
I think you originally were hoping to launch in calendar 2014. David Gingell didn't want to give too much guidance on exactly when, but has bringing in the JV partner delayed that a little, or has it been just setting it up's taken you a bit longer than you'd hoped?
No, look, bringing a partner in hasn't changed the launch plans at all. The team under Mike Sneesby have been working towards a launch date, irrespective of who owns the business. We're ticking off the final technical items right now. We're locking in content contracts right now. We're not going to announce when we launch until we're ready to launch. We just think that's commercially sensitive, and it's the best interest of getting the biggest bang for our buck on day one is to play some of those cards very close to our chest.
David Gingell also talked this morning about the company's position on media law reform, you like. He said, yeah, look, we'd be very hopeful that a few things might change. If it did, is there things that could have a material impact on the business?
Well, I think we've said for a long time that we think the regionals really don't play much part in value creation across the value chain. So we see roll-up of regionals as being value accretive to our stakeholders. At the moment, they really just pass our signal through and clip the ticket on the way, so to speak. So we see there's being some fairly substantial benefit through rolling up the regionals. On broader media reform, because we don't have a print business and we have no intention of having a print business, it's pretty much open slather for us today anyway.
Yeah, David Gingell's very adamant on that one. I think he's said something like, if we get into print, you've got permission to shoot me. But he said you're looking for lots of opportunities. Can you give us any sort of insights into that? Have you had lots of meetings with potential people, or do you just look at the market one step back and you maybe don't tell people what you're up to?
I think we look at everything and anything, as long as, taking David's point, as long as it isn't in print. So, we kick a lot of tires, we look at a lot of things. We are very interested in diversifying away from just being a pure TV business, and you've seen that with the live business, and that multifaceted media company we see as being a very powerful combination in the future. So, we're going to be very financially prudent, but we'll be looking at a lot of things until we work out what's right for us.
Well, Seven West Media also reporting results this week and managed to turn around back into the black after last year's loss. For more, let's return to James Manning. James, what did you make of the Seven result? I mean, it was up despite a small decline in revenue.
Yeah, it's good news. And look, revenue flat, marginally down 1%, profit up about 5%. That's a good move. A lot of cost control there working for them, so did very well. Difference between the two, look, Seven was talking a lot about HBB TV, didn't even crack a mention at Nine. Seven really weren't focused on, streaming, getting into a JV, didn't want to talk a lot about that, whereas that's really on Nine's agenda.
All right. We are going to take a quick break on Media Week here, but coming up, we'll have all the latest radio ratings. That's next.